RPG Scribe, you can make specific groups for your characters and like sort them by group. Like you can create a group. And so since last week I was having to keep the two sheets like together, I created a whole new group that was just Millith, and it had just had your sheet and my sheet in it.
Oh.
Essence of Millith. That's the greatest. I love it. You played Millith. Yes, you also played Millith really well, but you played Lilith very well.
Okay, good.
And I got a lot of people messaging me saying like, "Oh, she did such a good job. She was so true to Lilith." I'm like, "Yeah, for sure." I'm like, 100%.
There's definitely a couple times when more than just I thought that you were back on. Listening to the voice, I was like,
Yeah.
Is that Vivi?
I'm not gonna say that I got messages from people who are saying that Evelyn should just play both characters from now on.
But you got messages from people saying she should play both. No, that's so not true. But she did a fantastic job. It was so good. It really was. But there was a bit of the Vivi sass that was just not quite as authentic.
And no chuckles.
It was very close, and we did not have, a giggle fit. But other than that, it was spot on. Hey, Lord Forth, Maya Morph, everybody, I know we're late tonight. That's not our style here on Blue Box. We like to be on time, but I think it's going to be worth the wait. Maybe not the role play, maybe not the DMing, but the transitions and the views are going to look great. So just going to enjoy the eye candy tonight, and we'll be rocking and rolling by next week when all this stuff will come together. But at least you have some of the best role players in the country that are going to be on your stream tonight and enjoying with Kiegia, Mark Views, hello!
Are we having guests today?
See, I was going to say in the country. Didn't you mean in the world?
Exactly.
Very opposite.
In the world.
It's
all right,
like
so
the dragon situation all over again, where you were talking about befriending it, and I was like, we're gonna get eaten.
Exactly. Oh, you see the first new sub emote. That's Phantom NJ. Thank you so much, Phantom, for the sub. And you are the first one to see the new alerts that are kicked off. So if you want to see our new alerts, get bits and follows. They're pretty cool. Check them out. There's a lot more cool stuff coming as soon as I get my act together. Thank you, Set Monkey. Mystical Unicorn, I cannot wait to show off your incredible work tonight. I think I Will Be Heard already. Phantom's got now 6 months as a sub, and you can see your new sub badges there as well. So you've got those different multicolored dragons. The blue dragon, of course, with Blue Box is the top of the sub food chain. You'll see that when you get there to a certain level. Any session can be a giggle fit in the Mad Chatters. So somebody hit a Mad Chatter emoji in the chat. So because we saw it on Sunday, but some of these GHA folks may have missed it. Let's see that Mad Chatter. There it is, DM's Quest. Look at that. Woo! We're going to have fun tonight. Now, I'm going to step away for a minute. I'm going to change my shirt because this thing stinks. I've been in it all day long, and I am going to be right back. You guys keep the audience entertained.
Should we go back to the dice conversation?
Yes, exactly.
Probably
Go
not.
back to. No, we're not doing
No,
this.
probably not.
No.
Probably not. We don't want to get banned.
That's true.
You remember the
Epic.
name of this? The name of this channel, right, is BlueBoxRPG. PG.
Oh, PG. Okay.
Yeah,
That
who works?
conversation
I thought that was going a different way.
Really?
I was like,
I was going the other way too. I'm with Josh.
I was like, Rory, no! Like right as Tony Stark snaps his fingers, it's like, no.
Oh, and Kiega's right. There is an R in there. Ding, ding, ding.
So
It's
which
like
do
a
we-
range.
Well, yeah, it's from R to PG.
Yeah, so it's going from high down to low, so that's why.
But we can
it's
start with
So
high.
that's-
It's
yeah,
it's
that's
the
the
beginning.
pre-stream.
That's the
pre-stream is
pre-stream.
the R.
But I'm
and
pretty
then we
sure
go to
that
the PG.
conversation's gonna violate Twitch's terms of service, so maybe we don't do
Yeah.
that one again.
Really drag that pee along.
So, Josh, we're gonna need you
That's
to
only
put
what
your
you do in
clothes
the
back
winter,
on.
Vivi.
What?
I'm really hot, dang it. Come on.
Only in the winter do you drag the pee along.
Oh, jeez.
You're not supposed to eat yellow snow.
Don't do it.
He's talking about pelicans, guys.
No,
In
he's,
the winter?
he's talking about Canada, so he's talking about polar
Penguins,
bears.
maybe.
Polar bears.
Polar
Oh,
polar
I'm a
bears.
dingle butt.
Polar bears.
Hola. Yes, everyone is here.
No,
We're just gonna keep saying
sadly,
polar
Terry's
bears?
dead.
Polar bears. Polar bears. Polar bears.
Wow! Well, guys, I'm dead apparently. Per Josh.
Apparently our
You're dead to me.
sparring session didn't go as smoothly as we thought it did.
No, let me look at this. Oh, I see now. Millie killed me. Okay.
She killed you after we got those legendary swords.
Yeah, that's what happened.
But not before.
You go back to your text stream that's been happening during the game. Be like, oh, all these messages. You go back, it's just brutal ways on how Millie just like tears Shorewind apart.
Oh my gosh.
And then Lilith rides up on Shorewind like, did you finally do it? Is it done?
Well,
Now we must
Penhead,
kill- Now we must kill Ashrin. Let's go.
now that we have our legendary swords that John gave us, this is going to be fantastic.
This
Oh,
is
it's just gonna be
incredible.
so easy.
You know, if we keep saying this, he's going to have to give us legendary swords.
We just have to make
would
You know
it.
what, you guys?
However,
And then Brim rides up on a Brontosaurus.
And Lilith flies in on a pterodactyl.
what is that? I feel? What is that? I feel? Oh yes, that's negative XP. I feel it coming
No.
from John's direction.
And there's Shorewind on his iguanodon,
Oh, the XP is just floating away.
and Rory on a
It's
Pachycephalosaurus.
No. Hi, John. How's it going?
Oh, John's here.
Totally normal stuff going on.
You're muted, Rory,
You're
Unless
muted,
you
Rory. We
weren't-
can't hear you.
unless you weren't talking.
So look,
Yeah, it's called
I want you guys to know I do have access to these. I rewatched them.
Yeah.
Right?
Every dinosaur reference is minus 1,000 XP. So I will be checking this.
I told them that.
Yes. Okay. Good. Yes. You.
I've been looking forward to be level 3. Oh, wait, I was there forever.
All right. So everybody, hey, look. Thanks to all of our viewers being so patient. We are way behind tonight. That is nobody's fault but mine. But I promise you, you will see why. There's a lot of work that's gone into getting this prep tonight. We have a lot of new stuff that should be a lot more seamless starting next week. But it was all kind of manual tonight, and there will probably be some adjustments that need to be made along the way. I'm sure some cams are going to be misaligned, but hopefully you all will see the cool stuff that I have done. And of course, I gave a big shout out in our Discord to Azamir, Jordan Birchfield, Jay Birchfield 3, who helped so much with this. And we'll talk about that more in a second. So let's start off with our sponsors. And you're going to see the first of several new things here as I transition to our sponsor view. I can see that. See, I told you there would be those issues, so let me grab this guy. I'm going to come back here. Thank you, everybody, for your patience. We have all new views. We're gonna grab that guy. I don't know, that wasn't on there. Are you hearing it now?
Sound is back.
Yeah, I can hear it.
Okay, yeah, it's a brand new screen that we have here for our sponsors, so some of the audio stuff was getting worked out, but you've got it now. Does it sound good? Is there any echoing?
This is all Ashton's fault.
I mean, it's gotta be, right?
Sounds good. All right, thank you, Mark. Thank you, Greyhawk Mike. Thunder Bay. See cars. Woo! It's gonna be a fun night.
Yeah.
I do that, but with wasabi.
Yes, that too.
You have 20.
The Free City. Who knows? This group might be seeing the Free City soon. Troll Lord Games is on, guys. If you didn't see on Sunday, Troll Lord Games, they're now a sub to our channel, and I want to talk about Troll Lord a little bit tonight because you may be seeing a lot of their content coming to us in 2021. They have been such a great supporter of old school gaming, which is what we're all about here, and so super grateful to them for the sub and the support.
I was actually watching them before our stream started.
Were you?
Needed something to watch, yeah.
Cool. Thank you, Troll Lord. DCG is on. DCG, I don't know if you saw your tray, but we're going to show it again after we come back from the break. And then let me kill this audio here, and we will come. Now watch, don't miss it. Here's another transition. Check this guy out, and then look at the new view. And of course, my cams are off. All right, so you're bearing with us live here as we are putting all these new cams and views together. No, you're fine. Don't
Why
move.
am I in two places?
That's just the way. That's the way this works, my friend. It's it's a whole different thing. So you guys get to see the sausage being made right now. Not that Lilith is sausage. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to suggest that. But we've got all new views, all new
she's
cams.
gone.
Yeah, there's.
Wait, we're all here.
We lost our
And if
first
we're
giggle
watching the
fit.
sausage get made,
Huzzah! A
where's
giggle
Winston?
fit. You cannot disrespect the giggle. And I promise you again, this will not be the same next week, but it is part of this new setup that we have. All these new, look at those beautiful borders. And I'm going to show some of these badges here. We don't need those thinking badges. I know what you were thinking, Terry. Stop it. As soon as I said it, I knew what you were thinking. All right, so I want to show everybody, and these are the things you can actually engage. So first of all, if you give us a follow, well, Greyhawk Mike jumped ahead of the bits. That's what you see with the bits, the cloud, the coins that fall. Very cool. If you give us a sub, well, you're going to see that in a second. Yeah, thank you so much. Awesome. Troll Lord Games, thank you for the cheer. So you're seeing all the new the alerts, and they're cool, but they're also less intrusive. So, you know, while I loved You Shall Not Pass, but it was so loud, oftentimes it would disrupt our gameplay. So these new alerts are to really recognize and celebrate, but not to create something which is distracting. So thank you so much. And Jackbull, thank you for the sub. You guys are awesome. We appreciate that, Kiegia. You are the best. All right, so I talked about our sponsors, but I have a special viewer I need to talk about, a special part of our channel, and we have many special folks, and I mean that in the best way. So you have, whether it's Phantom or Pat66 or but you have also some newer ones like Mystical Unicorn. Manda has been such a great supporter. Thank you already for the TM, but only versus Winston. Thank you, Tim. I appreciate that, Troll Lord Games. So you have more. That's awesome. Manda sent me last week what is now right there with my Atros Minis Dragon as my favorite mini. This Frost Giant. I mean, you can see how big this thing is. Look at this. It's got snow on the ground. It's got frost on his shoulders. He's got this wicked-looking helm. This is an award-winning miniature that she sent. Now, let me give you some context. I thought I had a pretty cool Frost Giant before. Let me show you the size of, because you can't get the real context of it. This was my other Frost Giant. Like this thing is monstrous. It is so cool. I'm sorry this will never be a giveaway on Blue Box, but it is a huge. We got a level 2 hype train, and we barely have our act together. Thank you so much, but thank you to Manda. Just incredible. She sent me paints. I'll show those next week. A whole box of paints, more minis. I love the support of our viewers. You have been so incredible. All right, we have got to get on this. Thank you so much. It is amazing, Statler97. You just, oh, Dirty Davy. All right, quickly, what happened last time?
All right. Well, last time we started off engaged in combat with the Paling. Lilith and Brenham had taken positions outside the stables where the Paling was holding Winston in his clutches. Combat began with with Brim trying to attack the Paling with his blade and remembering that, unfortunately, it wouldn't do anything against that creature. Lilith, realizing that Brim was very close to the Paling's claws, cast Spark Skin on him to give him a little bit of extra armor before Sherwood and Millie ran out of the tavern with Millie carrying Ashrin in her arms, trying to join the others as quickly as possible. The fight continued with Lilith. I'm gonna do this all night. Lilith.
No, and by the way, just real quick, I was thinking the same thing, so thank you so much to Phantom. You still sound a little quiet. I don't know if it's an audio volume setting.
I haven't touched anything.
That sounds,
okay.
Wow, much better. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna keep turning this up. Can you hear me okay now?
Yeah, you sound much better.
Right.
Thank you. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So Lilith, when the Paling struck Winston with a mighty blow, Lilith dove to try to save him, taking a blow in turn herself. And Shorwin and Millie, with Millie slapping Ashrin around a bit, trying to wake her up because she had passed out, to come to their aid. Shorwin, after Brim had smashed a bottle of holy water into the Paling's face, causing the Paling much displeasure. Shorwood and Millie joined them, with Ashrin kind of coming around to her senses. Millie managed to get the killing blow by driving her dagger into his underarm and then slashing him across the him. But not before both Shorwin and Winston were nearly fatally wounded by the Paling. They were both clinging to life when, thanks to our mad chatters and the very massive healing powers of Ashrin, brought them both back from the brink of their demise. While all this was going on, Gimbal was running from Halia's fortress with his new friend, who happens to be a little rat with a metal plate on his head. And they were moving as quickly as Gimbal's very tortured and broken body was able to carry him, where he came across a strange sort of pool of water that looked there were flashes of images of various landscapes inside of it. And Gimbal felt the pull of the word where as he looked into it. And he thought of his friends, and he thought of Hamlet, and he stepped inside. And he and his new rat friend went through and found themselves in the streets of Hamlet, hearing the combat taking place between the Paling and the rest of the Wayward Bolt. Gimbal then began to move as quickly as he could to find the rest of the party, when a strange figure came up behind the group that had just managed to barely survive the combat with the paling. The figure spoke and said, "I expected to find you here." To which everyone turned to see Burn, now looking worse for the wear, and he had a strange eyeball embedded into his arm. One that the party would recognize very quickly. That someone managed to deal with. As Gimbal came up behind the rest of them, Burn was scolding Shorewin for not caring for his horse. As much as he had protected himself, he had not armed or armored Winston.
Which brought some attitude initially, but if you missed it, there was some great role play in the Discord channel as well as last week, and he took that to heart, I think.
And Gimbal said that Burn had much to answer for. Now, Shorewin did continue this conversation with Burn, and once Shorewin admitted that he was in the wrong, Burn was willing to grant him a boon for Winston. Burn's brilliant barding. A spell given to Shorewin. By using the word burn, he could now create barding upon Winston's body to protect his horse when he was in combat. It's just as shiny as the Cavalier himself. And spectacular at that. But Shorewin and Winston then proceeded to have a moment between the two of them, while the rest of the party noticed that Gimbal had rejoined them. Millie took Ashran back to inside the tavern after asking Shorewin to look after Lilith, since Lilith had been gravely injured. And Millie had spoken to Gimbal briefly and was glad of his return. Brim had been actually the first one to see Gimbal and charged towards him, to which Gimbal was a little bit worried, but Brim stopped and was very excited. And their reunion was lovely. And then Lilith had been kind of looking at Winston's new armor, and then finally kind of clicked that Gimbal had come back, and she studied Gimbal to, if it was really him. She returned him his finger, and then the group talked a little more. Gimbal asked for a rag and a vial for some of the paling's blood. And Brim had gone into the bar to ask Ostler for those things. And that's basically where we left off last time.
Well done. Let's give Evelyn a hand. As always, our resident lore keeper. Of course, Gimbal is our resident stat keeper. And yes, I know the alerts are a bit loud. I tried to turn them down. It's going to take a little bit of work. I'll have to figure this out. Just have to deal with it tonight. But I hardly want to chastise our viewers for all the bits and the follows and the subs. So we'll work around it. And I promise I will get this all balanced. Shame. I'll get this all balanced next week. Okay, quickly. Let's go through all of your PCs, your name, your class, your level, something about your character, and we're going to start with you, Gimbal.
Yeah, my name is Gimbal. I'm a level 4 wizard, illusionist, and I am a gnome. And although painful in the beginning, for the last 7 days, I have been a busy little gnome.
Yeah, so tell everybody what that means when you say you've been busy.
So on the Discord, the lovely Discord, if we could.
Which I will drop the creds for right this instant.
Popping right now in the creds.
There has been a lot of RP text finally back in a place where we can use it again, back in Hamlet. So maybe we didn't let John sleep for a few days. But mainly today and yesterday.
Maybe like the main day today. Yes, exactly.
7 days
to
made
walk
to
up,
one.
to walk up and to wake up to a wall of text.
All right, let's go to Lilith.
Oh, me. Lilith is a level 4 Grugak druid. She is happy to have all her wayward dogs together again, including a Winston and a new best friend. So now she has
you, Gimbal?
Huh?
No, sorry. Bits for Gimbal, sorry.
Oh, okay. Yes, but also now a rat that she has now going to woo as well. They shall all be mine.
Well, I'm waiting to see if there's going to be a sort of a combat between Winston and whatever this rat will be for favorite animal on the stream. I think that will be a competition. Let's go to you then, Shorewin. Nice segue.
Indeed, I am Shorewin Tassel of Corewood, a level finally 4 Cavalier. It's only taken me a month to get there. I'm not counting weeks at all.
You've been there this whole time.
I'm very excited about this rat. May it take the complete attention of Lilith from this day forward.
Never.
Remember, Lilith, rats are more cuddly than horses.
I don't know if it's going to get Lilith, but I think it's already pulling the viewers, and you ain't seen nothing yet. Yeah, okay, all right. So let's go to Millie.
I'm Mary Millie Von Tomps. I am level 5, half-elven swashbuckler. I love shiny things. My best friend Millie, who I bought extra sweet rolls for during the break because she deserves all the good things. Millie has also spent some time dealing with some personal things as well as sparring with Shorewin, and it's been awesome. We haven't finished that yet, but we will soon. But yes, so that is what I've been up to since last time.
Well done. And yes, so many of you have new garments, new items. Brim.
Hi, I'm Brim. I'm a half-ogre fighter, 7.5 feet tall. I'm growing still, though. Let's see what else. I have also been very busy these past 7 days, but also doing my best to stay by Gibble's side.
Yeah, so, and well done. And that whole role play with Gimbal and all that was going on behind the scenes, I thought that was really, really fun. So, for you, Brim, what has this been like for our viewers watching what happened to Gimbal and your friend coming back? And we'll let you role play that in Ancient Gamer as bits are raining upon all of you, so all of you have an advantage from Patrick. Thank you so much, Patrick. But what has this been like for Brim? Let us behind the scenes a bit for our viewers.
If you truly want to know, I have a plan for it tonight.
Okay, then we'll stop there. That's good enough.
Perfect.
All right, we begin, and thank you again, everyone. We begin inside the inn that has been the comfort for you so many times, the Inn of the Welcome Wench. And it's been now a full week since the travails that had occurred. You have made your visits to Brother Smith, to Federum, to Kat, to all of the folks of Hamlet. You've had ample time for rest. Each of you are fully restored. All of you have all your abilities back. Gimbal, you do not have your ear or your finger back, obviously. Those don't just regrow, right? But you are all feeling more hale, though still this sense of concern and, oh, Lilith, he missed you, you've got it now. And so the familiar sounds of the Welcome Wench are all around you. You hear the tavern keep, and you hear the sounds of the patrons around you, and it's the first time you've all sat around a table together since this had occurred. You are really still feeling a sense of encouragement, but concern. Winston's life hung in the balance. You have seen Gimbal playing with this rat that he has, but he's still unsure exactly what this rat is or what he means. But he seems very sentient, as I mentioned before. And so you sit around a table, and for our viewers, I'll show you here on the cam. Where's my laser? All right, we're gonna go old school till I find it. So you have Brim here, and next to Brim, hang on one second here. Oh, thank you for the new follow, Gronk at Kanba. We appreciate that follow. And let's get this cam live again so people can see what I'm doing. Hang on here real quick. As you're sitting around, you see some familiar patrons, but there is also a sense of some are looking at Brim with a bit of concern. You know, the display that he had just over a week ago with Three Trees, where he didn't just fight this creature, that he actually ripped his head off at the point where he was prepared to surrender. There has been a bit of a buzz about town, and people are concerned. Whereas when Brim first came to Hamlet, there was suspicion, and then that suspicion turned to acceptance. Now, the acceptance has returned to suspicion. So as they look around, you now sit around the table. Begin.
Lilith will go over to Gimbal and see if she can talk or get the rat to come over to her hand.
As you move toward Gimbal, you see the rat crawls up out of the pouch. It's a deep brown and furry, but it seems to be puffier. Like, it's not a sleek brown rat. It's a puffy and fuzzy brown rat with a sort of a gentle demeanor. Again, that disc that shines atop its head, it comes out of the pouch, it runs halfway up Gimbal's arm, and then it stops and its head turns back to Gimbal, as though looking for permission.
Holding it, he will put one hand on top. You'll see him pause for just a moment, and the rat's head will turn back towards Lilith, and Gimbal will look at Lilith, give you a wink, and this is what a bath does.
As he holds it up, the rat scurries into your hands. When he does, you see as he crawls up into your hands, he then stands up on his hind legs, partially as though to obscure. He seems almost self-conscious about that disc on his head. As he stands up, you see these brilliant eyes, black, but seeming to convey a sense of awareness, and he spreads his little paws as though to hug your neck.
She's gonna take him and like put him on her shoulder like this, and then kind of same like in the Discord. So like, sorry, I'm just laughing at joke. Similar to in the Discord, she'll take her braid, like her messy braid, and she'll like throw it to the front and like kind of like make it like a little bit of a nest for him to kind of like snuggle into. If anybody's looking and doesn't know that the rat is there, it just looks like she's kind of talking into her shoulder. Gimbal, what is that you said? A shower with you?
Oh, well, when I first found him, or when he found me, his fur was all like, just like, and I tried to like, bam it, but it just stayed down. It was bad. So I put it, I gave it a bath softly because rats don't swim. So I was careful, and now it's all fluffy.
To my hair to be fluffy?
Maybe.
I brushed it once. I didn't really fancy it. It's okay. Thanks, Gimbal. And she'll kind of like she'll kind of turn and look at the rat. Does it look like it understands what I'm saying if I'm talking to it, just in like comment?
So what do you say to it?
again, just kind of noticing about the disc, I'll just kind of look at it and ask. I'm just trying to get a look to see, like, does this? Because you said it was like sutured in.
Yeah. So as it scurries over, you see this disc is embedded in its skull, and it was clearly sutured into the skin around the skull. So it's now a permanent part of the top pate of its cranium.
Oh, it's part. Oh, okay. Does it look like it's been there for a while? Like
Yes, it's all fully healed. There's no scabs. It is embedded.
She'll kind of turn to her shoulder and like kind of scratch its chin and just say, "I don't really fancy shiny agency. I'll try to see what we can do about getting that off, if I can do it. Okay."
I'm sorry. What did you say?
She'll just kind of look into the shoulder, and she says that she doesn't like shiny things either. And she'll try to see what she can do about trying to remove it.
All right. So you lean over, and you on your shoulder kind of pick gently at it. Obviously, I know Lilith. She's not going to hurt the creature. But as you touch that and kind of pull at it, the rat yanks back and leaps over to Gimble's shoulder.
And he'll reach out and grab it, and he'll hold it closed and reach down and put it in his satchel. And not out of anger, but definitely give a look to Lilith like you just made my friend jump. Like, kind of trying to balance everything that Lilith has, the relationship in the party with this thing that just saved his life, and like everything he's been through. So it's just this very confused and frustrated but kind thing going through Gimble's mind.
Lilith will turn to look at Gimble. How did you find that rat? Where did it come from?
Well, actually, when I was stuck in a pretty bad spot, it came and it chewed through the ropes that were holding me to a board, and then it helped me find the way out to this well-like thing. Which, by the way, sometime we should talk about that. But to answer your question, it helped me escape.
Do you notice that the rat is different? It seems
Right.
different.
Yeah.
Like it knows more.
Well, yeah.
And the disc?
I don't know yet. I've been doing some studying to see about some different spells to learn, and been doing some studying. So hopefully soon I'll be able to identify it a little bit better. But I don't mess with it too much because it's, stuck on his head. So it's not good to mess with the head.
Oh, that's a fair point.
I just need to figure out what it is first, because it might be what's helping him be different than the other rats.
Yeah.
So it might be bad to just take it off.
He seems a bit embarrassed about it. I don't know.
And when you say that, there's an expression of confusion that comes over his face, an acknowledgement, like, oh, eyebrows up, and then he comes back to almost a somber look as he looks over to Brim. Goes, okay, yeah, and there's teeth, and it basically looks at his whole body like, there's this. We all got something.
Lilith will reach into her pouch and pull out some parchment and paper. She'll just write on the piece of paper, "Shiny things, Halia?" ? And like slide it over to Gimbal.
He'll shrug his shoulders, like, I don't know yet. But, so that takes me back to that well. Look, I didn't have a lot of time to look at it, but it pretty much looked like anywhere I thought I could go, I could go. So, if I thought, like, I thought about, I think it was our brother Smith, you know, the blacksmith. And then, like, that's where I ended up going. So, she kind of has free access to go wherever she wants.
Sense.
All right, so 2 quick notes from the viewers. Before, I thought Evelyn's voice was quiet. Now she sounds good. Rory sounds nice and loud. Brim sounds good. Sherwin sounds. Lilith, you're sounding a little bit quiet. Yeah, a little bit quiet. And then the full scene transitions. Let's talk about that too. So we keep an eye on that. If you guys feel that way, we did do a new transition here. I don't want them to be jarring. So if that's the case, then we'll adjust that. Continue, please.
So you've told us about how you got here.
And he's keeping his head low, eyes to the table, kind of, and then we'll look up.
Gimbal, what happened before? When you were taken by Harlia, where did you go?
I think I might.
I don't mean to pressure you. I've just stayed silent for a week thinking about it. But wanted to wait until we were all together to actually ask you.
Bram, you have the biggest room, right? I don't know. I've been in there once.
Yeah, I've got the biggest room.
Okay. And his expression will drop. You can tell he's thinking and not fully wanting to, but if you want to know, I can show you better than I can tell you if we go to Brim's room.
Well, let's finish up.
As you do this, you see the rat crawls back out onto Gimbal's arm after hiding a bit. And Gimbal, in the most humanoid motion you've seen it make yet, it scratches at your neck gently with one finger, and then it taps its skull, and it actually waves at you.
But let's see this or no?
Yeah, everyone that wants this can see it. Yeah, it's wide open.
He'll just hold it. He'll place it in his palm and hold it, and give a sense of confusion. And if there's no response, he'll put it back in the satchel.
All right. So just to be clear, you did this. This rat is way bigger than that, right? Yeah. I know. I'm not. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's not criticism. I just want to make sure everybody on the stream knows this is not a mouse.
It's a big rat.
Well, it's like just a decent sized rat, but you're also a gnome, right? So your hands are small.
Fair.
It's
Right.
bigger than a mouse, right? So it's like you're kind of cupping it in these hands. As you cup it gently and pull it back, it easily just goes back into your pouch.
Okay. Is there any response from when he's just embraces a sense of confusion?
Actually, yes. You sense a. It's hard to articulate. This creature is not speaking to you even in sort of a mental way, but you feel it sort of a gentle push toward later. Or perhaps better said, not here.
Okay.
Oh, Millie, it's so good to see you. You see Osler Gundygood. He comes kind of trotting over, a bit of a limp to his step. As he comes up to you, he says, I'm so sorry. I still don't have word or response from your sister, but I am sure it will come soon. And I must say I am baffled as to how you all seem to attract such violence at every turn. I have been here for nigh unto 45 years, and I have never seen as good a group of folks that seem so intent upon joining violence at every turn. I don't mean that disrespectfully. I actually just, my heart goes out to you. You seem like such good folks. You're muted.
You're muted.
You're muted.
Yeah, you are.
Oh, I'm not.
Now
There
you're
you go.
back.
I literally didn't.
I don't know. I'm sorry. No, I'm not. I promise. I'm not. I'm not being mean. I promise. We couldn't hear you. All right, now we can. Go ahead.
All right. I suppose we're just fortunate in that regard.
Yeah.
Well, as always, a round of drinks for all of you, and any sustenance you require. You know you are always so welcome here, and I pray your days grow easier than they have been.
Is Asher down here with us or no?
Yeah, so she is, but you see she's been kind of hiding off a bit toward the side, abashed, if I could use that term. And so if you look back at your cameras, you'll see Ashrin, when you start to look for her, she kind of walks over and she says, she kind of nods at Osler as he turns and walks away. He smiles, he winks at her. I'm afraid I've made quite, well, an arse of myself, haven't I? I have dim memories of what happened several days ago, but I think I might have been a bit forward with almost all of you. And the liquor that I'm sorry.
Ashton. And he kind of dusts off the seat next to him.
You always have a seat at our table. But it's not just you that has to say sorry.
Let's go look over at Millie. Millie.
Ashrin, she's like, you've noticed she's been furtive the entire week. You've seen bits and pieces of her, but she's been avoiding the party. She feels like clearly she has done something she should not have. And so as you're all around the table, she kind of gently sits down in the chair and gives an abashed glance around the table.
I do hope that your head was not hurting you too badly. I tried my best to make sure you were at least put to rights at the end of the night. It is my doing and influence, I suppose, but I hope you at least enjoyed yourself while you could.
Oh, my head has long since stopped pounding, although, by the gods, it was awful. I'd never had such a hangover before. It was, I don't know what I would have done without Osler's concoction, but, thank you, and I just hope I didn't offend. And you are still, you're struggling with tech tonight. I know it happens to all of us. Your mic is still a bit quiet. Like everybody else sounds good.
I'm at max volume. Hold on, let me check my settings in.
Yeah, it's okay. Like, I don't want you to be distracted. I just want to. So she says, "I'm so sorry.
How about that? Is that better?
Oh wow! Boom! Yes. Holy smokes!
Apparently, Zoom turned my volume down.
Okay, there you go. That sounds so much better.
There we are.
I'm just. Well, forgive me. She looks over at Shorewin. She looks at Brim. She looks at Millie. The only one she doesn't look guilty toward are Lilith and Gimbal.
Only
You know,
because she didn't
Ashwin,
have
dear.
to.
If
You know, Ashton, dear, you didn't offend me. If it makes you feel any better.
And if the drinks have come already, Lilith will kind of grab the drink that gets set down in front of Ashton and kind of just gently like pulls it away from her, and she goes, "It's okay, it happens to the best of us." And she's like, "Yeah, like let's not drink that."
So she, yes. So Osler has gone back behind the bar, as you see here. One of the serving ladies comes over, provides you. So again, I found my laser here. So if you're watching, you've got Brim here. Brim, the bold, the powerful, the brawny. You have Gimbal. That's the little guy with the lightning bolt above his head there. You have Lilith here, which you probably can't see, but she has this coolest owl. You have Millie right here with the sword and shield. And then you have Shorewind here. And then, of course, Ashrin, who is the one kind of abashedly drowning in her cups now.
And one thing that the rest of the party would notice about Millie is she has not worn her coat this entire week, which is very unusual for her. Like, you've pretty much never seen her without it, but she's just been wearing her blouse and what she wears underneath her coat otherwise. So she still wears her armor every day, but she has not been wearing her coat.
Good, and you sound so much better. Thank you. All right.
Yes, no problem.
Yeah, all right.
Also on that note, Gimbal no longer has his tattered clothes that he came back in. So he has his shoes, he has his new pants, and a new custom coat that he has picked up.
So describe what that looks like. Because if they're not in the Discord, people may not know. So what does Gimbal wear now?
So he's got, again, he was missing a shoe. So he's got some brown pants. And then his coat is currently green on the outside and black on the inside, and he's got his green shirt on.
Okay.
So the jacket is reversible. It's black on one side and green on the other side.
Very nice. All right.
Lilith, that piece of paper that she slid over to Gimbal, she'll take it back and she'll write Kalia's brush underneath. What did I write? Shiny and Halia, and then she'll slide it over to Millie.
And when Millie sees that, she's going to look at Lilith and kind of raise an eyebrow, trying to understand basically what Lilith is wanting to know. And so I'll slide it back to the piece of paper back to Lilith, after going.
And she'll scribble on it again. She doesn't want to speak out loud just in case. She'll just write on there. I don't fully trust the rat. It comes from Halia. Do you think it could be another silver brush situation? And she'll slide it back over.
Why are you guys writing on paper?
It's good to practice. Keeps the skills sharp.
Right?
Will you go out with me? Yeah. Circle 1.
I know. Sperry 14. Well played, sir. Everyone, Mad Chatters, we love you. Use your new Mad Chat emotes. Enjoy your new subs. Give us your thoughts. I thank you so much for the criticism. I know some of the transitions may be a bit jarring. We're going to work on those, but hopefully you like the new frames. I think they get cooler as you see some of the other scenes as well. But let's resume.
So, yeah, Brim, go ahead.
No, you go, Gimbal.
I was just gonna say, there's I still got my beef with Byrne. He kind of took off without giving me my stuff. I didn't get my little badge from him. And he also had something, I think, from Millie or Lilith, one of you two. He has something for also. The guy kind of left. Also, right, so I can show you, yeah. And anyways, while I was at that other place, I had a lot of time to think. As well as some other stuff. And I'm pretty sure there was 2 people Byrne named. And I'm pretty sure he also named a cult. And that he knew, like, the guy he knows more than he tells. So, he knows how to defeat the Palings. He said that, and he didn't tell us how. He told us he knew what we were walking into, at least better than we were, and he didn't tell us. He named Halia, and I think he named the mistress, because I definitely saw her while I was there. So I'm pretty sure he named her also.
Wait, hold on. What did she look like?
Well, I don't fully know. I just know while I was in this room, and he'll go blank for a second and get himself back. When I was in there, I saw a couple people, and he'll pause again because he'll think of Uthar and be like, nope, not yet. So Halia was in there being herself, and then a silhouette came in the door, and she was definitely scared of the silhouette. There's a female, and she addressed her by the mistress. So she was there, but I'm pretty sure her name is Holly. Because Byrne said Holly and Halia.
Right.
And maybe he's just an old man. So it's possible that that's not actually the case.
Such
but the
ageism.
mistress was there. So they were both there, and she was terrified of the mistress. Like,
Something that Holly is afraid of. That's
oh yeah.
very interesting.
Ashrin speaks up. When you say you didn't see her, did she not step into the room? Or, Gimble, more importantly, I've not wanted to ask since your return, but clearly, by your ear, by your visage, by your hand, horrible things were done to you. Are you sure you're all right?
Well,
Lilith will shoot a tread lightly look at Ash.
No, you got to show us what a tread lightly looks like. Okay. Ashrin, she drops her head immediately. Like she's so used to being critiqued, and she drops her head and gets quiet.
and in that, seeing that and understanding, Gimble will quickly reach into his satchel, pull out a brownie, and slide it over to Ashrin. Some things are just really hard to explain, Ashrin, but it doesn't mean it shouldn't be asked. I just can't guarantee that if I show you, you'll be okay.
Gimble, I'm sure Lilith is right. I should not have intruded. Thank you so much for this. This is kind, but do not feel the need to share anything more than you wish to. But we are your friends, and I just wish to know.
Yeah, no, yeah, I understand. That's what I mean. Is asking isn't wrong. Just know that if I was to show you, you need to be prepared for what you don't want to see.
Well, Gimble, I cannot speak for the others, but I'm a healer. I've seen all manner of wounds. I've seen all kinds of cruelty that is inflicted upon the human body. I think I am prepared for whatever you show me, but if you think I'm not, She darts a glance at Lilith and then over at Millie, and then
Ashwin dear, there are some things that are more horrifying than the regular wounds upon the skin. So, just remember, not all wounds are visible, and not all things that are inflicted upon us can be healed with spells and magic.
as soon as Millie speaks again, she just drops her head. She's not arguing with the party anymore, so she just gets quiet.
Prim puts a hand on her back. Not like heavy, just like lightly touch, and kind of looks over at her.
You know, Ashton, I actually feel like I don't know about much about your past. What wounds? What have you seen?
Leviatar has given me great power, but he has also placed me in many places of awful tragedy. As a healer, sometimes you must be on the front lines of battle. You see men whose arms are severed. You see men who try to clutch their entrails and push them back into their bodies to no effect. You see eyes that are gouged out in combat, and the men come pleading to you, begging to restore what cannot be restored, at least not by the power such as I have. You see men who do not wish to accept the fact that their dying wounds have been inflicted upon them, and they will never see their children or see their wives again. She looks around, like self-conscious, like she said too much. I'm sorry.
No, it's just hard to know someone when you don't know someone. Thank you for sharing.
And he lifts his mug slightly and will continue to drink his milk.
Sorry to interrupt the conversation. Just wondered.
Lilith will turn to Sherwin. Plot twist! Just kidding. Sherwin, you seem a bit quiet. Is everything okay?
He looks up from the table, looks at Lilith, nods. Everything's fine for now. And then goes back down to looking at the table.
Are you just looking at the table? There's nothing in front of you?
Just kind of, no, there's nothing in front of me. Just kind of internally working through things and using the table as a point of focus.
And then she'll turn to Gimbal. So, do you have any more of them?
That reminds me, actually, Lilith dear. And Millie reaches down to her hip and unties a small satchel, and she brings it out. And it's not that she received a larger satchel from Federal, but she hands the smaller one out in front of Lilith. I got these for you, dear. I remember this last one.
She'll grab it and open it immediately.
And there are 3 sweet rolls inside.
She is not a part of any conversation right now. She's
So I'm going to do a quick timeout here for all of our viewers. If you're not in our Discord, the Discord is the way the players torture the DM because I have to keep up with all these channels. And they hit me with 78 messages this afternoon when I tried to get a little bit of rest before the stream tonight. So we'll drop the Discord. It's already done because that's how she rolls. And so you should join the Discord because you get text-based RP. So things like the items the players purchase, their interaction with different NPCs in Hamlet. So they're talking to Federum, who took over from the original Hamlet Supply and Trade. If you went back to the original, Brother Smith is still there. He's running the blacksmith, so they interacted with him. There are other NPCs. Ostler Gundigut still runs the Welcome Wench. And so all this interaction occurs in the Discord channel, all these different channels during the week. You want to be part of this. It really helps extend, because you just don't want this on Tuesday night. You want it all week long. All right, sorry, continue, please.
So, I've been... Okay, so here's the deal. I don't know how to explain to you everything. Perhaps maybe there's another place we can go. Maybe, Brim, maybe your room's not the best, but maybe there's a place where there is no one around. And something that's relatively large space. And I can better show you. And Lilith, maybe it'll help you be more at peace. Maybe Ashton, you can help bring comprehension. And Sherwin, maybe you can even, with your background, help. And I can also, while we're there, speak with the rat if you want. And maybe that will help you, Lilith. But I can't even... And he'll stutter over his words because he keeps popping into his mind the different people he saw and the things that were done. And it's just easier to visualize for him than to speak it out.
Perhaps the grove would be a good place. I can take you there.
Yeah, if everyone wants to go there.
It's rather lovely, actually. I've been once with Lilith before, and it's very peaceful.
No spiders, though.
Well...
Brim.
Yeah, if that's... And we can do that later or now. I don't know what you guys want to do.
If we don't have anything pressing, we can go now.
Remember the
I'm spending most of my time now.
Or no.
That's perfectly fine with me. Let me go grab my coat. It's a little cold outside. And so Millie will just scoot her chair back from the table, and she'll just run up the stairs quickly. Back to her room.
And to Millie's point, it is cold. You're now several days into Ready Reet. So you are in what we might call November. Ready Reet, it is chill. It is getting into the real beginnings of winter outside. As you look out the windows, you see it's probably late afternoon, so it's not dark out, but there you can see a chill wind blowing.
Well, Lilith is gone. Lilith, oh my goodness.
It's going to be forever.
I know, it happens to all of us.
Millie is gone. Gimbal looks to Lilith. You gave me my finger back the other day. Do you have my ear?
Oh no, I don't have that.
Giving
Where is
away
your
a
finger?
giveaway.
Yeah, who won
Oh,
that?
my finger. my finger's up in my room. I put it in a jar. It wouldn't go back on. And he gets a grin to his face, trying to bring some humor to it.
I didn't think so, but pockets are a good place for fingers too.
No, I'd rather be in one of my jars. I got quite a few jars upstairs, but it's in one of them.
You left your finger ajar?
Yeah.
Brim is so confused.
It's in a jar. It's,
Oh, gosh.
yeah.
What is it that you're drinking, Grip?
I thought it was milk.
Are you sure?
Hoping.
Yes.
And he will look at Millith in this case and
It is milk.
And
Correct.
and while this conversation continues, you can hear Millie's footsteps coming back down the stairs because she went to go get her coat. And so as she comes in, her coat is just over her left arm, and she walks in and rejoins the group. All right, well I've got what I need.
You ready?
I should probably go grab my cloak as well.
Oh, you got a cloak.
and just will move.
All right, so you see Brim tromps up the stairs. Moments later, he comes down, and he is wearing?
Full plate. He's wearing a beautiful new light to dark gray cloak where along the shoulders, kind of draped down to almost a half cape, if you would, by the shoulder area, kind of to a point in the back, and then over on the hood, it's all leather. As rain, if it does drip onto it, it will roll right off onto the rest of the cloak, and then along the bottom of the trim of the cloak, there's also leather for mud. And you see, and it looks roughly like the same color as the cloth that he has on the sheep skull that he has on his chest. That's draped around the eyes.
Yeah, just something I picked up at Miss Hannah's.
It's gorgeous. She always does the best work.
Lilith will go over there and like completely invading his personal space, like, to touch the cloak to look at it, and like she'll like pick up his arm to kind of like look underneath his arm to see like the stitching and stuff. Like, oh,
Okay.
it's a nice cloak.
As you open it up, as he's like, as you kind of open up a bit, you see under his arm he has a bundle of multiple different things that he's just been holding. He's like,
Move for 1 second, please. Let's head to the grove.
And as soon as Brim says that, Millie moves to actually put her coat on, and anybody paying attention will see a brief flash of color inside the dark green lining of her coat. The hole that had been made by the spear that went into her back when they were fighting in the fort, she mended over several days, and actually the bit of embroidery that she did with all the wayward bolt symbols is now mending the hole in the back of her coat. And it stays back behind, like right there on her back, so that they're always close to her.
That's awesome. Well done. Well done. All right, and so just real quick again, it's much like what we had with Millie earlier. Lilith, you sound better, but you still sound quiet. So make sure Zoom doesn't have you turned down. I'm not sure it's your mic. It might be something with Zoom. You don't sound bad though, so don't freak out about it. But like everybody else sounds nice and loud. You're just still a touch quiet. All right, so. There's a bustling around the inn. Ostler occasionally walks over, makes sure you have ample supplies, gives extra mugs, the serving, like everyone gives special attention. You do still see several people giving Brim wide berth, walking around him carefully.
After kind of getting a good look at Brim's cloak, she'll kind of just look at him and she'll wink and be like, collecting things too. Let's go.
Alright, so I get up and I follow after Lilith because I imagine she will lead the way as she always does when we go to the grove.
Alright, so you're all going to head out and you are heading toward the grove?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. Alright, so you step outside and I knocked that cam all to pieces, so let's get that back there. Sorry, I didn't realize I had done that. And it is struggling right now, so I may kill that one. I have a backup plan, no worries. So you head outside, you walk through the streets of Hamlet. It is a pretty busy day. It's late afternoon, but there are many folks on the streets, and most of them give a word of greeting. There's a brief huzzah, but and as I said earlier, every time someone lays eyes on Brim, which is difficult not to do, there is a bit of a kind of a quietness and a wide movement around walking down the street.
The hood's up, by the by.
Gimbal will tap on Brim's leg, like, hold on a second, Brim. And they'll crawl up Brim. And sit on his shoulder. And as we get walking, hopefully not be thrown off, because as we get walking, he'll just lean forward and say, people can look at you how they want. I look at you how I want. You look at you how you want. And he'll grab the hood and pull it back off his head.
Well, no, to Gimbal, you could try, but you're.
Well, yeah,
oh,
yeah.
you're on his shoulder.
That's why I say I hope I don't get thrown off because I'm on his shoulder.
Oh, you're on his shoulder. Never mind. Yeah, I'm sorry, I missed that. Yeah. So yeah,
So hopefully he doesn't get pissed at me.
All right. So your hood is up, and Gimbal says this, and whew, he thrusts your hood back.
Did Ashrin come with us too?
Yeah, she's with you.
Okay, where is she at in walking along?
I mean, she's there, like sort of proximity, but you notice now she's constantly sort of lagging to the back.
All right, so Shorewind's gonna kind of slow his pace down a little bit so that he's walking next to her. He's not gonna look at her. He's gonna continue looking forward, and he's gonna say, "I heard what you said regarding what you've seen. Know that those of us on the battlefield appreciate what you've done for us." And then he's just gonna walk back forward.
You see, she looks around, almost uncertain, and then just gives a gentle, demure smile.
Lilith will lead the way. She'll just she'll kind of look behind to see if how far everybody is from her, just to make sure nobody's falling behind.
And Millie is like right on her heels. She's like, I gotta take care of Lilith.
And before we enter the grove, Lilith will do what she always does. She'll take off her shoes just before entering the grove and carry them, put them in her pockets and walk barefoot, kind of just to further connect with nature as she walks in.
Gimbal will copy.
As you get toward the grove, you hear the familiar sound of the chirp of birds, the sounds of the forest that surround you. A peacefulness begins to settle on each of you. Lilith, with a sense of confidence where she is going, walks into the forest. The damp loam beneath your feet brings a sense of comfort. As you walk in further, Lilith, where are you taking them?
To the clearing where Daru was before.
You walk several steps. With each step, it seems like the bustle of city life, or rather, the hustle of combat, those things which bring toil and torment to the souls of men, slowly fall away. And as you walk through this forest, the air is sweet. There's a crispness to it. There are florid scents that waft on the wind, bringing a sense of peacefulness and wholeness. As you emerge into the clearing, you see the stump that Joran often sat on, and much as when you were here last, Lilith, there is no sign of him. It's empty.
She'll walk up to the stump. She won't sit on it, but she'll sit in front of it and sit on the ground with her legs crossed, and similar to like how she has been this past week, putting her hands onto the ground and kind of planting herself and connecting with nature, and closing her eyes for a minute before kind of opening and looking at the group and saying like, we're in a safe space now. Gimbal.
Well, okay. He'll pull the rat out and set it on the ground, letting the rat's feet feel the dirt and the grass, and presuming that this is fairly unnatural compared to where I found him.
And Millie will lean against the tree that she leaned against when she was with Lilith the first time. So she's just got kind of her arms crossed and she's got her back against the tree while she faces the others.
So for those who, and maybe myself, don't completely understand our little friend here, perhaps he can help us with what I'm about to show you. and you'll hear him move his hands around the rat and say, "We are two different, and now we speak the same." And he'll cast Speak with Animals.
As Gimbal utters the word, you see there's a shimmering around the rat. And its head, startled, snaps up toward Gimbal, eyes making direct contact with him.
That's okay. That's okay. Do you have a name?
The rat's head turns, eyes wide. It stands up again on its two hind legs, fluffy brown fur, eyes bright. It taps its own ears with its forepaws in this dexterous movement that seems foreign to what you know rodents can do. And it looks at you, and we go to break.
Wow!
What? Quick question: When Gimbal speaks to the rat, is he speaking common or is he speaking rat?
So it's speak with
Latin.
So it's speak with animals. So he speaks rat Latin. No, it's common tongue. But the rat is hearing his. So you hear what Gimbal's saying. Whatever the rat does, you won't understand, but perhaps Gimbal may. Now, before we go to break, and it's a short night tonight because Lilith has a job. I don't know, that's so ridiculous. I hate these job things that we have to do. But we have a giveaway tonight. We're giving away one of these gorgeous Blue Box hoodies. If you don't have one, they are the best accoutrement for winter that you could possibly have. They are so nice. Look.
They're super cozy.
Yes, Terry's rocking one. His eyebrows on fleek as always, and his hoodie also on point. And so that giveaway is going to happen after the break. I'm going to kick off the giveaway now, though. So let me do this real quickly. And I'm not ashamed that we've not had combat, because all it seems like we've had on Blue Box lately has been combat. So it's nice to have a session. I'm not saying there won't be, but you know, the good first hour. Whoops, sorry, my bad. I clicked off the Zoom thing. What a DM fail. There we go. So yeah, that was awful. We're back, but it is going to be a cool giveaway for us. So I'll pull that down off the cam, and while we're waiting, Josh, your Monster Monday was put up on our Instagram this week, and so I know many people guessed, but why don't you go ahead and give us your Monster Monday, and let's see who can pick it up on the channel.
Of course. Do we want to go to break and have me do that during the break?
No, let's have you do it now so they can see your face.
Cool. Yeah, I've got a stench worse than a circus tent. Looking at me, you couldn't tell that I'm intelligent. Daily I'm winging it, in battle I'm hoofing it, and honestly, I don't care if you're innocent. I'll be the judge above your ranks. Be careful when you're near my flank. I stand as a leader, built like a tank, powers like a storm but filled with fear, lights exploding around me, sending weaklings running with tears. If you don't believe me, open your ears and hear my snort as I dig in for dinner, and you're the main course.
Well done. And yes, Jay Birchfield, I know my player, that was DM error. Many different tech things here. I did a stupid thing and put it to the wrong monitor. But we have guesses of Gorgon, Urukhai, Orc. Anything else I missed? Yeah, there are fewer crits during RP, but I'm trying to figure out a way to put crits into RP. I may figure that out. A communication crit.
Crit to the fields.
Yeah, that's right. Crits in the field. Sticks and stones, right? But words will never hurt me. No, that's wrong. All right, so a Nalfeshni, a wild boar, a minotaur. You just got stunned by the... Yeah, Krenzel and I know. They're awesome. All right, what is it, Josh?
It is an Elfeshni.
An Elfeshni, well done, Mark Views. You type !hoodie in the chat. We're going to a quick break, and Blue Box will be right back. Oh, wait, watch the transition. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. Here we go.
It looks like it's farting from inside.
Did you say farted?
You did indeed.
We leave the mics hot on break, if you don't know, so you can chat with our players.
Great.
It's not a mistake that you're hearing them.
Well, it might be a mistake.
Yeah, you could well be. Yeah, that's a good point. DM lack of judgment, because I leave the room often, and you come back in. I come back in. You're talking about dinosaurs, so.
What? Never, John. Why would you even mention that on stream? That is an accursed word.
It is a cursed word for D&D. Dinosaurs. There are no dinosaurs in D&D. I don't care if they were canon with the old school stuff. It's never mine. And Gary and Dave are not here to give you XP. I am, so.
I don't even know what these dinosaurs are you speak of.
Yeah, they sound just like a thing of the past, bro.
Rosa.
Bro? You gave me a bro? Oh, this is getting worse.
Oh no, I'm descending into mad.
Dude.
Tubular.
I am showing, man. Let's do this.
I'm just becoming a dolphin. Help.
All right. Actually, if you can, while I step out to use the restroom and get a fresh cup of coffee, engage the viewers in somewhat constructive way. If it's somewhat related to D&D, that would be great. But if not, it's up to you guys. Do what you want.
Here we go. Viewers, will you marry me?
Oh, that's a lovely engagement.
No.
I know, Gronk.
No.
I know, Gronk. The Isle of Dread is real. I know there are dinosaurs in the old school stuff. They're just never in my campaigns. Dinosaurs and guns, gunpowder, not in my campaigns. That's just my particular style as a DM. I'm very sorry, but I hope you love what we do anyway.
The real question is, who has Tasha's Cauldron of Everything pre-ordered?
I do. I'm sorry. Everyone else out there.
Not yet.
So our local I live in a little town, but the local bookstore is going to have it in stock. So I'm just going to go down there and buy it. I'm so excited.
Sorry. Thank you for bringing this up. So right as the variant cover was shown off, I pre-ordered that one as soon as possible because
Nice.
that one
Nice.
was so cool.
Oh, I can tell the story about my class to everybody.
Yes.
Which was really exciting today. I teach a first-year seminar for freshmen at the college I teach at, and my seminar's title is Life Through Art and Games, and we've been doing art and games throughout the entire semester, which has been fantastic. We played like Democracy 3. We played the Game of Life, which was really apropos. So it's been a lot of fun. And so what I did with them today is my students and I all created characters on D&D Beyond as part of the class. Are you all right over there? You're muted.
You're muted.
You're muted.
Sorry, I'm just like squealing like a little schoolgirl over here. So Mark Views was like, check your Instagram if you can. And I just checked it and I was like, oh my god, look at that. That's so quick. Look at this.
do? What did
Hang
he do?
on. He drew Lilith with the rat. Oh my god. Hang on one
Oh
second.
my god. So you need to share that so everybody can see Lilith with the rat.
Oh my god, it's so good. How did you do that so quickly? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to distract. I was just having
No, I have to check
no,
this out.
that's
I want to
good.
see it.
Okay, I
We're
sent
all-
it in our Discord group. He's
Okay.
already... Isn't that so good? Oh my god! That was so quick. Oh my
Well
god,
Oh,
done.
wow.
That
Oh.
is absolutely beautiful.
Check out the Mark Views on Instagram.
Oh,
That is
no.
the funniest rap.
Marc.
Wait, what happened?
Ews.
Look in the Discord.
Mark did
Mark,
Lilith
do you
with the
remember
rat.
Mark who
He
drew your
Lilith and the rat?
brand? He just drew Lilith with a rat. He drew Lilith with a rat, and like, so quick.
Oh, Mark is incredible.
Yes,
Mark's
that's
artwork.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
incredible.
Like, he's shown me multiple things of his, and it's just mind freaking blowing. Like when he drew Brim, I literally sat there and stared at that thing for hours.
Well, that's how I found Marcus, because when we were having that conversation and you showed me the picture that he drew, and then I was like, that is amazing. Would you marry Josh? Oh, of course. Hang on. There's a poll. Oh, I missed the poll.
It's already
Damn it.
Yeah, I missed it too. I think John put it up.
It's okay. Too many people
No,
would
I think
say
it was
no.
Jordan. I think Jordan was making the polls because he's here. He's
okay.
been making all the really funny polls.
But yeah, so
Josh is on the polls again.
yes, Josh and I were talking about that, and Josh showed me Mark's work, and then that's how when Josh showed me his work, I was like insta follow, and then I like went and liked all of his stuff, and then now there's a picture of Lilith and the rat. It's so.
What kind of polls you on, Josh?
I love it so
That's something I'm not allowed to talk about on stream.
Gotcha.
What?
That makes sense.
Was
That
it like
makes
this?
Yeah.
Wait, I
like
can't
this?
see you. Wait. There we go.
So to finish my story,
Sorry.
I No, it's fine. And so I have 20 kids in this class, and they created all their characters, and some of them had done D&D before, so they were great. But the ones who hadn't were just having a blast, and they were having blasts with things that I didn't think they would, which is like the feats and things like that, and the backgrounds. And I'm like, oh, okay, you guys are actually getting into this. So my hope is to have a TPK on the final day of class and kill all 20 of them.
Nice. Nice.
So I'm preparing for that.
You just put them up against something that can't die, like what's her
Tarask.
name? Well, I mean, as far as I know,
Yeah.
Tarask actually can. It might have spell repellent skin, but Tiamat actually cannot.
Oh, true.
The way that Tiamat's built, you actually can't.
Yeah. I mean, same with Asmodeus. Any of that. I want a stat block for Asmodeus.
They're out there.
Oh yeah, no. And those, what are they called? Older editions, right?
Oh, are you throwing shade at me, Josh? Oh my gosh.
No, never. I love my character. I love you, John.
Extinct edition.
Extinct editions.
Yeah, but he wouldn't do that because
All right, everybody, if you don't like that comment, disadvantage to Brim right now in the chat. Older extinct editions.
I didn't say extinct. That was scary.
Archaeologists will come upon those editions one day, and they'll be like, wow,
Robert.
these are old.
Dude, that'd be so cool.
Robert said, "Get off my lawn."
They're gonna be amazed. That something was
Yes,
ever
there we
made out
go.
of lead.
Disadvantage to you. I knew I could count on Tim.
There goes one of my advantages.
Oh no.
One of his
friend.
32 advantages.
All right, we're gonna.
No, Mike, no. I lost a friend.
Unfriend.
No, you know I freaking love Greyhawk. Like, I bought the book.
Another. Oh, Ancient Gamer, get back to you, Patrick. No,
No,
come on,
not another one, guys.
Keep them coming, guys.
Patrick,
Maybe
you're
we can get a
ancient.
hype train with them.
Yeah.
I'm
If you're-
so
if-
little in this world, guys.
if you-
Josh, can I ask you a question?
Oh no.
Are you an archaeologist? What?
Yes.
You are? Is that how you found those old editions?
Yeah. You gotta really dig through eBay. No, how old is John?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
You got 1,000.
No way!
Oh, yes, I love that poll though. That's a cool poll.
Wait,
So
is that disadvantage?
young,
or-
old, very.
Yeah,
no,
is
that was all
disadvantages,
advantage.
Yeah.
I think Kiega's giving you 10 advantages.
10 advantage.
Or actually, you can save that. That can
I'm
be a
gonna
complete restoration of abilities.
Oh, another disadvantage for Tim, or from Tim.
Against the
Against
weapon
that weapon
two. Two disadvantages.
All right, the poll is divided between young and ancient, so I'm not sure what to do with that. Nobody's in the middle.
I put young just so it's known. I've now lost 5
Yes,
advantages.
I did as well because I was the only
Antiquitous! Congrats on the win this weekend. And yes, hit that whippersnapper.
Gronk. I started playing when I was 41 years old, so I'm with you, dog.
All right, so I got to stop watching this poll because it's very distracting to me. All right, so let's get back.
How
All right.
old is the DM John?
Yeah. So it's
I voted.
apparently now it's between young and ancient. That's all
I
I've
like
seen.
that.
Well, I
Terry,
got
I like
one
that when
old.
you said you voted, the ancient went up.
Oh no, that wasn't me. That wasn't me.
Oh,
It's
Terry. All right, let's actually play some D&D here, guys. All right, here we go. Back to, sorry, it's distracting to actually play the game, but we'll do it. All right, so let me bring back up our forest view here. You're in the grove, and let me zoom that back out so you can see, and kill that audio, and go back. And so we resume where we left off. The rat. Oh, thank you, Jay Birchfield. So kind of you, sir.
You're gonna be sad.
No, that literally that brings back all the ones I lost.
During break.
You lost that many during break.
I
You're
lost
getting the 10.
5.
Yeah.
You did, really?
No,
Wow.
but
Yeah, but you got the
gave you
10 from Gigia.
Yeah, I'm saving that one for when Brim is about to die.
Yeah, so that's like a
So
full
later in
restoration of
this
abilities.
episode, okay.
And yeah, when that happens, Brim, you're going to need to like tell me in advance because as a DM, I have to decide how that gets adjudicated in the game. But yes, all right. Gimbal, the rat, as I said, he stands up on his hind legs, his paws, and you feel a touch, a gentle, hesitant touch, lightly on your mind. He opens his mouth, and a squeak is all the rest of the party hears. But Gimbal, in your mind, you hear, "She called me 9. And then a sense of disapproval. "I don't like 9. And he drops back down on his forepaws.
Gimbal will reach his hand forward, or hands, I guess, hands forward, to have him put his paws on mine, just waiting, and then lifting him back into the standing position to a tall frame. And who is she?
All of you hear what Gimbal says, but the rat squeaks and chitters, which you're not going to get me to do. Squeaks and chitters, and Gimbal. Okay. Gimbal, in your mind, you hear the bad woman. She did bad things to us. Then there's a pause, and the rat, as he stands, you sense gratitude, and he taps the top of his head. "I think now."
Gimbal will put on a very friendly smile, not a grin, but a smile, and take 2 fingers down his back in a soft motion and say, "That's okay. How about Squeaks?"
You all hear Gimbal say this. The rat, who had dropped back on all fours, he stands back up on his hind legs. He holds out his hands, and he literally does a little spin on the top of Gimbal's shoulder. And you hear affirmation in your mind, Gimbal, he loves this name.
And so Gimbal will just get a real big smile and take his 2 hands and hold him out and try to balance him on one hand and go, "Remember, you got, hand him, everyone will see he gets this little tiny couple ounce hammer that he bought from Fedrum. It's it's not really anything practical, but it's just this little toy that he has.
Okay, so what you bought from Federum was a nutcracker. It's not 2 ounces. A nutcracker is going to be this big.
Oh.
It's got to crack nuts. You don't crack nuts.
I misunderstood that in the
Yeah,
chat.
yeah. It was a
You were
nut.
talking about my nutcracker.
Yeah, so you
Yeah, that's what I confused.
you are the nutcracker for always, Vivi. But like what you hold up to him, you look at it. Like his paws grip it. They might be able to hold it, but it slumps down. There is no way this implement could be wielded by a rodent this small.
He'll now understanding that he'll take it and go, all right, yeah, maybe not practical for Squeaks, and he'll look over to Lilith and throw it to Lilith.
Do I have to make a
It's not
reflex
shiny.
save?
It's dull. It's not shiny.
If you were tossing it there, she'll catch it and so
Yeah.
she'll look at it. What is this for?
Kind of like a symbol. So you can take different kind of nuts, peanuts, walnuts, and you break them. Some people call it a nutcracker.
Some people call me the nutcracker.
Oh!
Does that work the same?
I hope not.
Okay.
But yeah, so you can have that. It's not very shiny. It's kind of dull and rusty, but there you go.
And she'll put it in one of her pockets. Thanks, Gibble.
So everyone, this is so he had a name he didn't like and he wasn't treated well. But his name is Squeaks now, and he likes it.
The rat again sort of does a capering dance in Gimble's hand. Somehow this being given a name, not a number, not one of whatever was happening inside the laboratories of Halia and the other name that you heard, he seems to be rejoicing, capering about upon Gimble, light of heart, the glint of his little gold disc on his head in the forest.
I've seen a lot of rats in my days on ships. This one seems a lot more pleasant. So
What?
Squeaks,
But just before, and I know you're all waiting, and I'm kind of delaying to show you what I saw. But Brim, do you prefer Brim or half order?
I don't understand.
Like, what do you like to be called?
Well, Brim.
Okay, so, and he'll hold up the rat and say, Squeaks, not rat.
Oh!
I like it.
All different, but all together. So,
The chirp of the birds, sorry, go ahead, I'll let you go, but the chirp of the birds begins to quell a bit. The sun is falling a bit lower in the sky. It is not night yet, but it's getting toward dusk.
So I guess if you want to see it, I'll show you what where I was. Yes? No?
Yes.
Okay. And so what he'll do is he will pull out a piece of fleece and have everyone back up a little bit. John, it will be slightly downsized because it has to fit within 40 by 40 feet. And he will start to wave his hands, tracing in the air and uttering what is not seen by others, let it be seen now. What was not seen by others, let it be seen now. And his hand will start to trace out squares and then another rectangle and another rectangle and then his hand will come back, and it'll start to move over the center of the first square, and in front of you, in an almost life-size ratio, you'll see a room within this 40 by 40, this room that appears to be, slightly smaller than what it was, so probably 10 by 10. In the center of this room, there's a table at an angle. You can tell that it's a stretching table. And Gimbal, you can see his facial expression start to almost darken with the shadows of the sun setting as his mind digs back into these memories. And you see the stretching table. You see this empty, large stone room with a hallway, and then a hallway turning left and going straight. And they bleed out into emptiness. He's casting silent image, so no texture or anything, just imagery. And then you start to see his hands wave and pull and go in as you see Halia appear next to him as he's stretched out on the table. And his hand draws back, and he waves his hands in circles and pulls out again as Uthar appears. Again, still relatively realistic size, maybe slightly shorter than normal. And as his hands pull back one more time, circle and pull apart, and a silhouetted female figure appears in the doorway.
There's really quickly, there's a juxtaposition. You still hear the sound of birds, but now there's this ambient sound of magic, but then no sound coming from the vision that you're seeing. Now you see everything that Gimbal's describing. Continue, Gimbal.
So it's the room with this stretching table and him on it with Halia next to him. Very clear, both these images. Half silhouetted, half visible type of shadows on Uthar. And then in the doorway, where you can see the hallways extending, you see this silhouetted, because he couldn't fully see her, silhouetted image of a female. And then right down, you see him take a little extra time with his fingers instead of his hands, and he pulls apart, and you see squeaks appear by the silhouetted woman's feet. Not all of this happened at the exact same time, but this is what was there. And his hands are shaking.
DM, from the silhouette of the woman, can we make out anything about her? Can we tell if she's human or elf or any?
Hey, go ahead and roll D20 for me, please, and add your perception.
All right. And that's a 12 plus perception is a 24.
24. Definitely human.
All right.
And more than that, you can see it's a tall, statuesque female. A bit taller than Halia. Standing in the doorway.
Utha. What was Utha doing there?
Really? And he'll look over at Ashrin just for a moment and look back at Millie.
Kimball, Ashrin, like the moment you make eye contact with her, she speaks. I have no words. The torture, how, you poor thing. She rushes over and she doesn't actually grab you. She falls at your feet and she just hugs your ankles.
Knowing what might be coming, he'll just let her stay, even though he really is uncomfortable with that. He'll look back over at Millie. I was told long ago, when my father was still alive, that you should only ask what you want to know the answer to. Do you want to know the answer?
I am a endlessly curious person at my own peril at times, but I need to know, what was he doing there?
And his hands will clasp and pull apart. Whole image disappears. He'll pull out another piece of fleece as he rubs it, and the image will come together slowly because it can't be a moving image, but he'll slow down the making of it. So you'll see Halia facing away from Gimbal, Uthar facing Halia with his back to the archway.
But with the image that he shows you, Uthar's eyes are black pits. His face is young. The gray is gone from his temples. He looks somehow more hale than how you saw him previously, and yet still more depraved. There is a youthfulness to his visage and a darkness to his countenance.
And the images won't be standing face to face. They will actually be almost looking like they're hugging, as then the darkness overcomes them and you can't see them anymore. You still see Gimbal on the table, on the rack in the room, and that's the current image.
Is Ashen looking at the second image that Gimbal brings up, or is she still busy hugging?
Ashrin, no, she's just clutching Gimbal's feet. She's not even looking.
Okay.
The best I could understand, because, and he points over to himself on the rack, I didn't have a choice. But it definitely sounded monstrous. As if there was, and if I remember right, there was definitely wounds on maybe on the neck or something. Definitely seemed to be some kind of, and it's just confusion, absolute confusion. Feeding ritual. Maybe?
Squeaks drops back down into your pouch, and you feel him shiver against your side.
At the sound of Gimbal say mating, she'll look at Ashen again to see her reaction. Does she react at all?
No, you see Ashrin, she's just clutching Gimbal in compassion. You know, a healer, but a healer who can do nothing. You know, there's nothing to be healed here with the wounds of the soul. You sense that from her as she just holds him as though trying to give some part of herself to him, but she can do nothing for him.
What could do that to a person?
And then, with Millie saying that, he'll drop that. Can I do this? Yeah, I can still do it. He'll pull out one more fleece. Working through that, I don't necessarily know. What wasn't seen, let it be seen, and he'll bring out three life-size images. Or no, two. Halia and the silhouetted woman.
All right, so let me fix this here real quick. So you see Gimbal does this. He pulls out another fleece. As he pulls out the fleece, he shakes it, and there are three images that appear. And Gimbal, I'm going to let you describe those images. And this is the sound that you hear as the fleece settles. You see Halia, who you know. Sorry, go ahead.
Just the two images. He's not going to pull up Uthar.
Oh, okay. All right. So he doesn't pull up Uthar. All right. So you see Halia. As you see Halia, she's so recognizable because it also, she's adorned by the silver chains that crisscross with lightning on her cloak. Sorry, DM, reacting to what players do here very quickly. So you can see it. It's clearly Halia. Her beautiful form her black robe, the chains across her chest. Then you see a second form. It's slightly taller, still clearly female, more statuesque, almost looming over Halia. You cannot make out the features.
What could Halia be afraid of?
You say that again, Lilith?
I said, what could Halia be afraid of?
And Gimbal will go ahead and drop the image.
The image
in his
drops.
satchel and
Everything.
rub squeaks.
Everything fades back to its normal sounds. You hear the forest around you. You see the green trees, and suddenly the image is gone. The rat squeaks. He pokes his head up out of the pouch. Once the spell is gone, his whiskers frisk about, and he nuzzles Gimbal.
Gimbal, what did Squeaks tell you?
This wasn't how he always was. That one of them, or maybe someone that worked with him, had done this to him and many others. That he doesn't like them, and they were very mean to him. And it's not quite words, but disappointment in him. And that this thing is a lot that the metal is what lets him think like us.
Sherwin?
Sherwin looks up.
Are you okay?
And he just sits and thinks for a minute.
Ashrin slowly gets off the ground, lets go of Gimbal's feet. I'm so sorry. What you've endured, I will always be with you, Gimbal. And she just steps back, drops her head again.
So where to next?
Gimbal, you spoke of Fern having more information than he was willing to tell us. Fern?
Oh yeah?
You spoke of Fern having more information than he was willing to tell us. Do you think we can get more information from him?
Well, earlier, a couple of days ago, Millie and I tried to go to the key. I'm all for breaking into the place, because... Oh... Anyways, beyond that point, Millie and I couldn't get into the key. The guards said that Byrne's not there. They seemed a little worried, and they wouldn't let us in. I was hoping to get some studies done, but what I recall Byrne saying is, I think he had mentioned... Lilith, anyways, he had mentioned Holly and Halia. I don't know if he stumbled his words or if he was saying two people. And he was talking about, it was the, it was, something about a cult trying to awaken something. And it might have been, he said, the cult of the eyes, or cult of the eyeless, or something like that.
Perhaps that's related to the shield that was covered in the eyes.
Well, he talked about the skull, right? The 2 eyes and the...
Right, the one that he has.
And he has the 1 eye.
Right.
And Lilith, what was the thing you said before the temple came up?
What was that? Oh, the word?
Yeah.
It escapes me. I don't remember.
And she gives it to you, whatever it is. That's fine.
Yeah.
Azum looks.
Right.
Yes.
So if I'm hearing it right, it's Azum looks. Something about a cult with eyes, a shield with eyes. Halia has an eye in it.
So does Brim and Gimbal
And Millie.
And
And Lilith.
But yeah, I mean, I think we need to look more into that and see what's up with this cult, and maybe even that area. You know, why is that temple there?
Well, and one thing I do remember is that when we received the finger, we were ordered to come to the moat house.
You mean my finger?
She sent a little boy to bring it to us.
I Gimbal, it was your finger that he brought. Millie was brave enough to take it. All of us were so sad for you. Go ahead, Shorwin.
That
Good.
might.
I think Shorwin's going to go ahead, Shorwin.
No, I
Well, when you pull back an arch of brow, I'm thinking something's coming. So
not yet.
That's his
Okay.
thinking face.
yeah, exactly. All right, sorry.
I apologize. I'm slowly plotting some things.
All right, no problem. All right, go ahead, Gimbal.
That might be. I mean, I was in some kind of big square stone room. It was kind of musty. I couldn't see anything other than these couple, this room and the hallway. So I don't really know where I was.
Well, the moat house might be worth looking back into. We're familiar enough with it, but I don't know. Perhaps if there was something that we didn't find there the first time we went.
Perhaps.
But yes, that's where she wanted us to go. Supposedly to get you in exchange for the eye, the crystal eye.
Oh, there's that eye too.
Yes, which Byrne currently has in his possession.
Long story. Well, I roll about it later.
Let's go ahead, Gimbal. Sorry.
Or we might want to look into the couple of chests that we found.
Oh, right.
Millie, there's definitely something in that one of them that I would like to get a hold of, and I need to find we need to find a way to secure it or hide it.
Which of the chests, yeah?
The second one. Remember, you and I were looking through it?
Yes,
and
that Brim got that one. He had taken it to his room last I saw. I have the one with the chains in my possession.
Okay.
Viewers type !hoodie in the chat. !HOODIE. The giveaway's coming soon. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's an amulet in there that I would like to secure.
The skull, right, with the spikes.
Yeah, and I don't know what else is in there. I know you had found some coins that might be of interest, but I don't know what else. So along with the moat, we might want to take a look at that.
Yes, definitely. If there's a way to secure that skull, probably for the best.
As the talking's been going on, Shorwin has started to kind of pace in place, and finally he says, "All right, we've been talking about a variety of locations to go to. Can we pick one and go?"
Lilith's kind of taken aback by Sherwin's shortness. But she kind of notices that he was kind of off a little bit today. Yes, we can pick somewhere to go. Where do you guys want to go? What makes the most sense for us to logically go? And also, what time of day is it?
Yeah, so it's
Yep.
dusk. It's getting close to. It's not evening yet, but it's sort of. You might call it by our terms 5 in the afternoon, but you're in the ready reach, so you're late fall, so it's already getting dark. Not dark yet, and Ashrin says, "Sorry, wherever you think we should go, we will follow you. You have been so noble, and whatever you think we should do, we will do."
Well, if I were to put in my 2 copper pieces, I would say that the moat house might be our best lead, at least to finding Hollia. Further information we might be able to gain later. I do remember that Byrne said that he was heading to Greyhawk, the city, to see about Rufus. They also may have a better library, and we may be able to seek out either one of them there to get more information in regards to...
You hear a massive explosion at the edge of the forest. You see fire illuminates the side of the Druid Grove. There is cacophony all around you, and as this happens, you see a figure come staggering out from the woods. Dim in a cloak, barely able to move, and it slumps and falls over into the ground. The fire burns. It's not pulled into the forest yet, but it's right there at the edge of it. There's a red illumination.
Do I recognize this figure?
You can't. It's about 30 feet away. It's burnt and blackened. All of it, the clothes on this figure have been singed away. You see arms outsplayed as it falls to the ground. One looks like it's been blasted apart.
Shorwin immediately withdraws his sword and his shield and starts scanning in the direction of the fire to see if there are any other people out that way.
All right, what's your perception again, please, Shorwin? Your bonus?
Perception is... You would ask me a question. But I'm super fast today. It's +6.
Shorwin, as the figure falls, you see shapes moving in the forest all around you. Humanoid, maybe larger than humanoid shapes darting between the trees.
All right.
No one else has seen this yet.
I'm going to mention to everybody, there's something out there. There's some beings. They're moving about quickly, quietly, hard to see. Stay together. Do not spread out too far.
And Millie immediately pulls both of her blades from her hips and readies herself.
You pull the blades out. Everyone else?
Lilith will follow Sherwin.
Brim will drop his bundle of items and take off his cloak to try and squelch the fire because he didn't bring his armor or his weapon.
So the fire's not close to you. All right, so the fire is distant. It's at the edge of the forest. This figure came running in where you're at, inside the actual grove. The fire has not penetrated, but you can see it at the perimeter of the grove. The figure is about 30 feet away from you. The movement that Shorwin saw, it's probably a good 200 feet, 300 feet away, further distant. The figure on the ground twitches, blackened skin.
Does he look hostile?
He's
No, he looks victimized.
Brim,
Yeah.
you want to do the brimble?
Sure.
Send me up in your shoulder. He'll cast blur, and you've heard him cast the spell before, and he's casting blur on Brim.
And
Let's run and get him.
yeah.
All right, so as you do this, the rest of you see Brimble. If we've got Millith, we got Brimble. You see Brimble become blurred. Brim and Gimble. Master Blaster, as I've called them, with my one anachronism for the night. You run forward. As you do, you see the figure. It turns over. Almost unrecognizable. It is Burn.
Burned.
His hair is gone. His cloak is blackened. As he turns over, you see where the eye was in his arm, it's blasted out. You can see the radius, the ulna, the two bones open, exposed, no flesh between, blackened flesh. He looks up at you. They're coming! And he slumps over. You see now tall, armor-clad figures moving through the forest all around you.
We've got to run.
Yep, grab him and go, grab him and go.
I use my cloak to try and wrap him and pick him up as gingerly as possible.
As you wrap him, you feel like you're picking up dry sticks.
Yeah.
His body, already small, so light, flesh blackened and burned away. No pun intended there. And you wrap him up. You see his arm loll out, and there's literally the waning daylight shines through the bones in his forearm, where once there was an eye from Shorewind's shield, and it lolls to the side, and run! I won't say run, you fools. Run!
Yep. Come on, Ashwin dear, we need to move. Lilith, going.
Gone. Lilith will get up and run.
Shorewind's going to take the back of the group, kind of as a barrier just in case.
And Millie's going, because she knows she's pretty quick, she's just going to kind of, and she saw Lilith take off, so she knows Lilith is probably okay for the moment, so she literally grabs Ashwin by the waist and pulls her along with her because she knows she can carry Ashwin if need be. So.
She's done it before, right?
She's done it before.
She's just trying to get her to move as fast as possible.
As you...
Ashwin. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Ashwin, if you can run and heal, do it now.
As you yell this out to her, hi, Brim, I can't, I will. As Millie's coming like hustling her along, you see the figures moving through the trees. They are fully armor clad. Their armor is black. You have never seen anything like this. These creatures, you see 2, now 3. Is that a 4th? You're unsure. Blackened plate mail moving through the trees, clearly here for one purpose: the demise of the Wayward Bolt. And that's where we'll end tonight. You could have predicted that. I know. No surprise there. Not Nazgul. Flee, run, you fools. Okay. All right, so I do want to spend, before we get, so I ended a little bit early tonight, not too early. We still have to do our MVP vote. We got to do our giveaway. But I also want to do a little bit of after chat with the players. So I'm going to get the giveaway going here. If you have not already typed it, make sure you type !hoodie in the chat. And yeah, we got a lot of folks in there already. I see Wiley, Wicked, Thunder, Tim, DM, Sperry, Protowood. You're all in there. So that's all. So !hoodie. Make sure you're in that. And then we're going to do our stream MVP. But before we get there, let's do a little bit of Ashwin sounds close to arson.
I I have the poll ready for when we get there. So
Okay, all right. So Jordan, thank you so much for all your help. By the way, again, let me switch to our sponsors. I should do this because the sponsor volume wasn't up earlier, and I think it should be working now. So just check this out. It is so cool. So I'm going to go to our Be Right Back. And you see that. And then we're going to drop to our sponsors. And you have...
Depending on if I survive.
Yeah, exactly. But I think it was just because you had 3 nat 20s. And then, of course, Cozy Gamer and her awesome dice. If you didn't hear this earlier, the audio is working now, right? Everybody hearing that now? All right, good. I got that working. Thank you. Boom! Help our sponsors. Follow them. Thank you, Jay Birchfield 3, for all of your help. Wishing you all the best rolls, and you're going to need them. Now, back to our stream MVP and our giveaway. So what we're going to do is, here on Blue Box, we do our giveaway based on D20 rolls. So anyone that's following right now, if you're a follower and not a sub, and we've had a lot of subs tonight, this is a great time to sub because you get 2 D20s like advantage instead of 1 D20 if you're one of the 5 that will be selected from these viewers. Also, for Stream MVP, this is so important because it gives 1,000 experience points now to one of these players. Brim, Gimbal, Millie, Lilith, Shorewind, they all can get 1,000 experience points based on your vote, and it is critical. Oh, Moosh, you got the t-shirt today. Congratulations. All the giveaways should be hitting now. We got a bunch of them out this week. I didn't see Redbeard tonight. But I know Redbeard got Gimbal's ear, which is a cool giveaway. Tim has a Mako's Revenge flask, which is super cool. Like these giveaways, you're not going to get them anywhere else. They're super fun and they're happening all the time. The Blue Box hoodie is the giveaway tonight. Now, if you're someone that already has a hoodie, don't not join the giveaway because I'll give you something else if you already have a hoodie. All right, no, my dog, Fade, go away. You can't mess with my cord, sorry. He will break everything. It's so easy down here. All right, so let's go to each of you. Why should you be Stream MVP? Lilith.
Oh, Lilith should be Stream MVP for just being, I think I RP Lilith very true to her character today. Just her curious nature, lack of personal space.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Love sweets, all those above, and just taking the Wayward Bolt and having her group back together and taking them into the Grove. Sure, our demise, but but taking our group back to the Grove and just kind of checking in with everybody, especially in Sherwin, seems to be a bit off. She's just a little bit worried about her friends. Yeah.
Well done, well done. And again, between now and next week, we got to figure out your audio. You are still the quietest of all of our.
Okay.
Yeah. So no, but
yeah.
it's. I'm not mad at you. It's fine.
No.
So very worthy. All right. And so the viewer that you will be rolling for is, and the first eligible nominee is Fraley17. Fraley, that's the first time you've ever been up for it. So Fraley, are you still on? He is a sub, or she, whatever, is a sub. Let us know you're still here, and you will be rolled for or represented by the amazing Vivi Lilith, and she's using the DC. Oh yes, show that. So we have these two gorgeous things. You have the gorgeous Dragon Crafting Guild Beholder. Oh, Fraley is here, awesome. And you have the amazing, look at that sucker. What Mystical Unicorn did for us with this incredible frost giant. This guy is massive. Like, he's as big as my head. He is gorgeous. And congrats, Fraley. All right, Shorewin, why should you be Stream MVP?
Yes, indeed. Sharwin should be Stream MVP for his brooding and sullen self today. And the fact we're not all dead, because he saw the Men in Black.
Okay, all right. All right, Shorewin. Well said, and you will be rolling for Protowoot. Oh, Protowoot, also a sub, a huge contributor. Protowoot, I'm sure you're on. Just let us know you're still here. And if so, you will be rolled for by Terry or Shorewin, who is going to TPK his entire class of 20 college kids very soon. Yeah, Protowoot is here. Of course, Protowoot's here. Let's go to Gimbal. Gimbal, why should you be Stream MVP?
Gimbal should be Stream MVP because of his warmth towards Ashrin when she was asking him questions about his experience. He didn't just shut her down. And then also his interaction with Squeaks and Gimbal's consistent seeing others as equals kind of thing, calling them Squeaks versus the rat now that he has a name. And then his ability to create the illusion of the room that he was in and the different things he saw, being able and willing to show that to the group.
Well said. Absolutely well said. And Morphous Red-Headed Sheepdog. Are you a follower? Is that what that icon is? If you're, yeah, thank you so much. I love the username. And that was a fantastic explanation, Rory. So the questions come up in the poll. What are the palings? Are they like Fades, Myrdal? Yes, exactly. So if you've not read Robert Jordan's novels, I have made the paling. It is a custom blue box monster, but it's based on the Fade or the Myrdal combined with the doppelganger. So it's kind of a blended monster, but I did borrow heavily from Robert Jordan, which is a good look for all of our folks that saw that. And Gimbal, you will be rolling for Retro Gamer! Good to have Retro Gamer with us again tonight. Retro, are you still here? And while we're waiting for that, we're going to go to Millie. Why should you be Stream MVP?
Well, let's see.
Retro Gamer's here.
She continued my RP from the Discord stuff, so you guys should check that out. But keeping that consistent all the way through into the stream, just her quieter moments, continuing to kind of observe everybody in the party and making sure that they're okay, watching out for everyone, getting the sweet rolls for Lilith, just. She had a rough time recently and wanted to do something extra special for her. Continually being the one to try to both get Ashrin to consider her words a little more thoroughly and but also kind of be the one to protect her as of late.
But Millie, what do you mean? My words, I always carefully consider them, Millie. I don't know what you mean.
And just asking, I think, the right questions, especially in this with Gimbal revealing what had happened to him, and considering the moat house might be the next best place of approach, and then trying to find Burn before Burn appeared in front of us. So yes, all of those things.
All right, well done, as always. And you, Evelyn, Millie, will be rolling for Sperry 14. All of these are subs. Thank you so much, all of our subs. Sperry, are you here? Let us know if you are here. If you are not, we will have to re-roll, but Sperry is normally really active and involved, so we'll give him a second. And while we're waiting for Sperry, Brim, why should you be Stream MVP?
Brim should be Stream MVP because he was a man of few but important words when he did speak tonight. And because of Gimbal, he was able to retrieve Burn and was able to dive a little bit into Ashrin's backstory.
Yeah, which was really, really cool that you did that, and I thought you were very sensitive. And also, like, you see your interaction with Gimbal was great, as always, so well done. And I don't see Sperry yet, we'll give him another minute, but you, Brim, will be rolling for Mystical Unicorn! Manda! And she, again, she is the lady of the hour with this incredible frost giant. I promise you, this does not do it justice. In fact, let me hold up my other favorite mini here. 1 second. My top 2 minis now are the dragon I have from Atris, and you've seen this guy. Look how big this frost giant is. I mean, he is a monster. Incredible. So you're rolling for Mystical Unicorn, and she is definitely here. We don't see Sperry, and we love him, but he probably had to balance, so that's okay, no problem. We'll re-roll for Millie, and you're going to be rolling now for Lord Forth. Lord Forth, are you with us?
Gotcha.
Lord Forth is always on. He's probably here. Hey, Roger. Mystical. Yeah, don't let her down. Don't let her down. Lord Forth. Okay, we have it. All right, the stream MVP is up. Vote for the stream MVP, and you've heard their pleas, their calls, their cause, all of which were quite worthy. Now we're going to go and we're going to roll D20s. Every single one is a sub, so they all get 2 D20s. And we're going to start with you, Rory. Tell us who you're rolling for, and then roll your 2 D20s.
Oh, I had it.
Had mine.
Guys, did I surprise you with this? I do this
Don't
every
worry, Brother
time.
Woot, I remember you.
And I also remember you, Lord Forth.
I can pull it up if you can't find it.
It is Retro Gamer.
There you go. You got Retro Gamer, and he helps us in our Discord channel too. So great follower. And what'd you roll?
He has advantage, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Natural 20.
Nice!
Oh, nat
Well done,
20
A 7
for
and a 20.
Retro. Let's go. All right. That can still be overcome. Everybody's rolling 2 D20s, so there's a decent chance, 1 in 5, that someone else will
You
get
have
one
Fraley, Lewis.
with the remaining.
Yes, I
So
have really. I have it written down on a piece of paper. I was more organized than I initially thought.
all right. Now let's go to Shorewind. Tell us who you're rolling for and roll 2 D20, please, sir.
Indeed, I'll be rolling for Proto Woot, and I'm really hoping Cozy Gamer dice come through today. Let's see.
They normally do.
Wow, they did not. An 8 and a 6.
Oh, yeah, okay. So, very sorry for that, Proto Woot, but you are still, nonetheless, much appreciated here. Now we go to Lilith.
I am rolling for Riley. 17. Thank you, Riley. I have 2. I have a 9 and a 1.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Golly, everybody is struggling. Retro is still in the lead. Congrats,
This
Retro.
combat didn't
Let's
start
go to
tonight.
Vivi.
No,
Hey,
I'm kidding.
still time to vote for Stream MVP. If you haven't voted yet, vote for Stream MVP. That's 1,000 experience points for them. Vivi.
I already rolled.
I'm sorry.
Lilith?
Lilith, Vivi, guys get me so confused now. Millie.
Maybe you're Evelyn.
Evelyn. Yes, that's better. Go ahead.
I'm rolling for Lord Forth.
Lord Forth gets a
18.
an 18. Oh, so close. Retro still in the lead. Last but not least, Josh, tell us who you're rolling for.
I'm rolling for the giant creator, mother of giants, Mystical Unicorn Painter.
For Manda.
Oh, gosh. No, that's a 3 to 6.
Oh, Retro Gamer! Congratulations, sir. So I'm pretty sure I already have your info. But if I don't have your shirt size, please put that in our Discord. If you're not already, I think you are in our Discord. Yeah, of course you are. So just drop that as a whisper to me in our Discord, or a DM rather, and we'll get you this hoodie out. And congrats to everybody. And our stream MVP tonight is by a whopping margin. I think this is a sympathy vote, and probably well placed. He deserves some sympathy. He has been through the ringer. He has died. He's been tortured, abandoned, naked and afraid. Joints popped out of sockets. He has really struggled. Let's give a round of applause to Gimbal. Congratulations, sir, by a wide margin. Also, to our mad chatters, incredible tonight. So much engagement, great viewership. If you're watching and you have not followed, or if you're one of the rare followers that has not subbed, we have one question for you here at Blue Box. What are you doing? Give us a follow, give us a sub. We're going to get ready to raid here in a second, but before we do, fireside chat. All right, players. I want to do this especially tonight, and Lilith, I know you've got work, so you need to do what you need to do. Vivi, but I think we're still a little bit earlier than we normally are, so you should be okay. Okay, good. So I want to talk about raid rare drop. All right, I will, Jay Birchfield. So I want to talk about the chat that happened this week on the Discord, maybe some inside moments. There was even some controversy that happened in channels, and I want the viewers to be able to kind of participate even if they weren't on the Discord. And also, viewers, if you have questions, go ahead and pop those in the chat. So any players, comments on the Discord chat or the game tonight, things that didn't make sense to you, or moments that maybe you think others might have missed.
There was a moment in the Discord when, if anyone hadn't read it or wasn't in it, where Millie was asking, or Gimbal and Millie were talking, and there was this kind of question, like Gimbal had mentioned some, maybe Evelyn, you can help me with this, but basically there's this back and forth, and Millie was asking Gimbal how he's doing, and then he brought up, hey, don't dwell on this murderous revenge that you have out there. Use different words, but basically, and so they had this back and forth about, do our actions, Millie has this idea that her actions only affect her, and Gimbal's like, well, be careful, that's not true, but we can take that path and then take the consequences together.
Right. Yep. That was basically the conversation, because Millie, basically, it is primarily focused. I mean, she's got a couple of targets of her particular need for vengeance. One being her father, which was revealed a few sessions ago, and the other one being Halia, and it has been Halia since Halia betrayed them in the tomb a while ago, but even more so now that she had hurt Gimbal, and particularly because Millie was the one receiving all the parts of Gimbal as things were going on, so it felt very personal to her, and so she does not like, especially like, Millie is an all or nothing sort of person. If she bonds to people, she feels the need to protect them. Because to her, otherwise, if you benefit her, great. If you don't, then you can go. Like, it's not. But this is, the Wayward Bolt is something very different than, and the closest thing she can compare it to, and this has been in the Discord as well, is like her ship's crew, but in a very different sort of way. Right. The crew she was part of, she trusted them to be untrustworthy. She could rely on them to probably stab her in the back at some point, but that also they worked together as a unit because it was part of it. But she's found with the Wayward Bolt that, they don't expect anything from her necessarily, other than, her to help when she needs to help, and she gets paid, so all's great. With what happened with Halia, and particularly like, Millie is furious and is focusing all of that rage on her. And so, like, it feels very personal to Millie. And so she's kind of gone tunnel vision about Halia, and she doesn't see the hypocrisy a lot of times with the things she says to Ashton, especially like tonight about like, well, don't give him a hard time, because like really, she should take that inward in a lot of ways, but she's very tunnel vision on this because she feels slighted.
No, I think that's so well described. And I love this behind the scenes because we don't do a lot of metagaming on the channel, but I love the viewers to be able to see some of the behind the scenes things the players are feeling. So anyone else want to say something?
I think in part two, kind of what Evelyn was saying too about just being a group and being the wayward bolt. I think a lot of the characters all kind of are. I think Federum and I talk about that a little bit in Hamlet Supply and Trade, about being like outsiders, so to speak.
Right.
We're all kind of outsiders in our own way, but we've kind of come together and we're our own like group of outsiders that kind of have our own little backstories or like little things, but we don't, exactly what Evelyn was saying, where we don't really expect things from each other. We're just together and we protect each other. And I think I really enjoy that.
No,
The stream and my play.
Yeah.
I think that's really well said. So what about Squeaks? What does everyone think about Squeaks? Dance Master John on Blue Box. Steve, you're killing me tonight, man. You're all over it. There will be no Dance Master John. Well, actually, there could be, because I can. You don't think this? The poll was old, ancient, young, old as dirt. I forget what it was, but yes, I still can dance, and don't think I can't. And if you make me break out on one of these streams, I might, but I'm not doing it tonight. All right, sorry. Go ahead.
He's wearing a sweater, but underneath, on the bottom of the sweater shorts.
He's gonna eat all over the place.
He actually just has a like folded up piece of cardboard waiting for this.
I do. How'd you know? I'm ready to do my breakdancing on the floor here. Actually, I'm a popper. I'm a popper in a locker. I'm not a break dancer, but I can do the popping and locking, and I can do the meanest Michael Jackson moves you've ever seen in your life. But I'm not doing that tonight.
Get it. Yeah.
When he refers to breakdancing, it's what happens to his bones when he attempts to dance.
Okay, all right.
Impressive.
Hey, bring it on. Bring it on, young man. You come down here, sir. I'll show you.
We have a question from chat.
All right, the chat question is?
Which just trust Ashrin?
Brim.
I trust Ashrin. It's nice art to kind of play around with her because she's so I don't know what's the word. It's just she's so Ashrin, but
Abrasive at times.
Yes, abrasive at times without knowing. I think she sticks her nose in the wrong place. I do trust her. It's just fun to banter around with her. It's good fun, I think. She's a good character to banter around. It's like the annoying. I feel like it is like the annoying little sister for Millie and Lilith. Like
that's perfect. That's kind of that's how I'm trying to play her. So that's well said. That's awesome.
Yeah. As for Squeaks, Lilith is a little bit apprehensive because she's been scorned by Halia before and shiny objects before, and he is coming from Halia, and he has something shiny on his head, which she doesn't really, not very comfortable with. Hence why, with the piece of paper and passing it around, she was just fearful of saying something out loud in case she could hear us.
So, no, I love that. But remember, the brush that you got from Halia, she voluntarily gave to you. Mm-hmm. And I'm not telling you how to think. In fact, I don't want to steer you the wrong way, because if this rat is deceptive, I don't want you to blame me. But that is a difference. The rat led Gimbal and was not given by Halia.
Yeah, but I think it would be true to Lilith's character to just be a scorn a bit, because like she usually doesn't typically carry shiny objects and things like that. And she held it so close for so long, and then she's like, it was just like, oh, how dare you?
Robert said she's the annoying little sister that will stab you in the back. I love the fact I've created this paranoia with my players. This is the sign of good DMing. And yes, I can dance and DM at the same time, but it will not happen tonight. Anybody else on Squeak?
Well, I was gonna say, and at the same time, like, we don't know that Squeaks went with Gimbal willingly. We did, like the party is unaware of that information. So
Did he not say that?
Really cute, and you can't trust cute things in D&D. I'm just saying.
No, you can't. But I thought Gimbal, did he not tell you that tonight?
Tonight.
Yeah, I thought he did tonight.
But we were suspicious at the beginning.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, gotcha. All right.
And then even then, it still makes sense. I mean, whether even if say Squeaks had no idea what because he doesn't know what's on his head, doesn't mean that it's not some kind of device.
Right.
Gimbal is quite trusting of him, but he's got a different connection to him and a different reason, kind of a life debt to him.
Right.
So
Yeah.
but that makes more sense when he's actually spoken to him, when he actually hears and feels the actual dislike for Halia that the others don't have.
We have another question from the Mad Chatters. How cute is Ashrin?
Oh, Ashrin.
Ashrin.
Ashrin is very cute. She's got, I believe, her comeliness. So we use comeliness here. If you're a 5e player, that means nothing to you. So let me explain this. Heck, if you're a 3.5 player, it means nothing to you. So when I talk about our blended rule set here, we're paying essentially 3.5, which is the open source, stuff, PFRSD. It's like Pathfinder 1.0, but we blend in some original 1E, 2E rules, like our group initiative system. We blend in a 5E rule advantage, but then other 1E, 2E rules that we have, I use comeliness. Comeliness was a rule that was in one of the Dragon magazines originally. I believe it made it into Unearthed Arcana, but it is a old school 1E, 2E, which differentiates between charisma and comeliness. So let me go to Terry. Terry, what's the difference between charisma and comeliness?
Well, that's a great question.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it is.
I know comeliness is how amazing I look.
Right. What's charisma? As a cavalier, you should know this, my friend.
Mine's 18, right?
I didn't ask you what the number was.
I'm pretty sure. I was like, mine's 18. I don't quite match Millie, who I think is higher, right?
I have a 20.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I'm hot.
So, eventually, if you're looking for the power couple, I'm just, 18 and 20 wins.
Okay, yeah.
Brim, you gotta be up there, right? What's yours?
All right, real quick, before Brim answers.
For your sister, a 15. For normal people, a 9.
Yeah. So for other, like he's got a different comeliness for half ogres versus humans. By the way, yes, that's a good point. It was popped in the chat. Gimbal, your comeliness has now dropped a point. You've got a ripped off ear, you've got scars, so please drop your comeliness a point.
And because isn't she losing a bit of her hair?
She lost all of her
back.
hair.
Well, I was trying to be polite.
When it comes to Ashrin, there's no such thing as being polite.
I actually had a question about that. Is her head like second degree burn style, or is it just like the hair is gone and scorched?
No, yeah, it's more like you got, like, if you've ever burned like the hair off your hands, it's like it's scorched, there's a bit of stubble. She didn't burn her scalp to the core, but yes, there's burnt stubble, bits of longer hair, shorter hair.
But then to continue the answer, charisma is kind of that idea of personality, it's your persuasiveness. So if you think of it this way, charisma is the inside, and comeliness is your outside.
And Brim
and you put them together, and what do you got?
Well, exactly. So we've turned.
I'm all charisma and comeliness, darling.
We've somehow turned this into a lore master's arcanum, which it's fine because we're wrapping up. But it's well said. So Jay said magnetism. Jay, thanks so much for being on tonight. I think it was Phantom that said, where was that? There's so much. I have tons of charisma. I just don't know what it is. Jay Birchfield 3. That's funny. Highest comment. Where was it? It was one said, yes. So it's the idea that charisma is your presence.
Yeah.
It is your ability to influence. So when you walk in the room, Winston Churchill was not high comeliness. He wasn't gorgeous, right? But he could command. He had presence. People looked at him when he walked in the room. That's your charisma, your persuasion, your strength of personality, your forcefulness of will in communication. Your comeliness is literally how pretty you are or how handsome you are, what you look like. And I know that's not necessarily, I want to be careful here, Yeah. Anyway, that's good. I'll stop there. All right. So, any other comments about squeaks before we close off tonight?
Well, and can I expand a little bit on the charisma? Just a little more. It's
eyebrows are not necessary. Eyebrows are not necessary for charisma. Your eyebrow does not have to be like waxed to make you highly charismatic.
It just makes my comeliness keep going up. But no, the charisma it's that idea that you can help control a room. You can, people can be attracted to people based on how they are and not what they are. And I think that's important when we talk about charisma, because it's your ability to talk, it's your ability to understand how you talk to different people.
Exactly.
It is a tone of voice. It is I might talk to, as Shorewood, I might talk to other soldiers in a certain way to gain, advantages, where I'm going to talk to a noble in another way to gain advantages. And so there's so much into it, and the eyebrow helps.
Yeah. No, well said.
I think Josh was trying to answer the question about squeaks. So.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead, Josh.
That's totally
please.
Fine. I actually had two questions. One, DM, if possible, could we actually continue the week-long RP in the, anything else that we wanted to get done before, so that if chatters wanted to check in and look at any other week-long stuff that we were doing?
Yeah, I'm going to say yes, but we're going to assume that's a prelude to what's happened here tonight,
Treat
right?
it as what happened before today.
Mid-run.
Yeah, you're in the middle of combat
for a second.
So we didn't.
Oh, hang on, I need a new shirt.
Yeah, but my only caveat is it can't all come on Tuesday afternoon right before my stream.
What?
So you got to do it during the week.
Well, then it's not worth it. Never mind.
So if you don't know where, you got to be on our Discord. We'll pop that in one more time. Any other comments before we close off and do our raid tonight? Thank you to all of our viewers. Thank you to all of our followers, our subs, our chat. Just incredible tonight. Our sponsors, Jay Birchfield 3, who helped us so much with our, if you like these new windows and transitions, we do need to turn the alerts down, but that's something I can do here. We'll figure that out and we'll get that quieter. But I just think a really good look for the channel, and we are so appreciative to everyone. And yeah, John has to sleep at some point. I don't know when that's going to happen. It looks amazing. Thank you, Rory. Yes, Dirty Davy, thank you so much for that. And they are techniques. Tim. All right, we're raiding tonight. Let me pull it up, make sure they're here. So we're going to raid Level Up Dice. We've never raided them before, and they look like they got a good channel here, so stay with us and give them a good thank you, Roger. Thank you, Set Monkey. Bloodwild 25. Yeah, my son said I had a high charisma, but my comeliness was very low. That actually hurt my feelings. So we're gonna raid. This great group at Level Up Dice. Stay with us. Give them a quick raid icon or a blue box hype or a mad chatter or something when we get in there. And here we go in 10 seconds. In the meantime, we will have a Lore Masters Arcanum tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Vivi will not be there with us. It's her short week. Evelyn will be there with us, and you can drop in our Discord on the LMA channel, Lore Masters Arcanum channel, to give us ideas for what you'd like to hear us talk about tomorrow night.
Drop ideas, drop questions.
Drop ideas.
All those sorts of things. We love to see them in the channel. And
I've got some ideas, but you guys, you are not ready for Squeaks. Squeaks is going to give Winston a strong run for his money. And with that said, we are raiding Level Up Dice now. Give them a hype. All right, raid kicked off with 48. That's